bring manufacturing back to the U.S. tariffs. So far, they have not.
Okay, listen, don't trust government figures because after in a few months they will be revised and all will be revised in very, very negative way. Right now they are putting the best possible numbers even if they don't actually exist to help Trump with his speech coming up on 24th of February. Um, and so, which is good because the market will go up until February 24th for sure. It's already moving today. What is it moving today? What for? Nobody knows, but it's moving up to help Trump to say, look at my economy, look at my stock market, it's flying, it's so good. It's so weak that it's pathetic. By the 24th, I'm going to sell everything what I have there to get out of this madman market. It's
Well,
horrible.
of course, that's entirely up to you, but the metrics don't support any of the liberal talking points.
Wait a sec. One more thing, though. So Trump does crazy crap. The dollar goes down in value. Don't you want to be in some stocks because
but the thing is, the dollar went down in value. The dollar goes up in value. It's like the stock market went down. You heard all the liberals cry, "Oh, the market's going to collapse." Stock market went back up again. So when you look at the metrics, you guys are just smoking Canadian weed. I mean, the fact is the U.S. economy is extremely strong. The fact is inflation is lower than under Biden.
So how comes it is so strong that the Toyota moves its plan from Alabama to Canada? If the US has such a strong economy, it doesn't work that way.
Because unfortunately, whether you like it or not, we are the world's strongest economy. Whether you like it or not,
much longer. Not much longer. It's losing its old trade partners. It's bursting on its trade partners. It's not go unnoticed, and there is a payback. U.S. is not going to.
There is no payback.
And by the way, all these U.S. companies start from Microsoft. They're not U.S. companies, really. They're all registered in Ireland, and therefore they.
Let me give you some reality check there. The GDP of our worst state, Mississippi, is stronger than any state in Europe. Period. The endo. So when you're talking economic smack, you're talking the wrong thing when it comes to the United States of America. They are the strongest in the world.
Don't try to compare to Mississippi, to Germany.
Your country, what is it, Canada?
Why would you do
your country isn't even as big as Texas. Think about it. So when you're talking smack, that's all you're talking about. And if you look at how the U.S. people work, and you guys may not know this, the Europeans take 6 weeks off, which is one reason I like it. They don't work hard. They work 35 hours. The U.S. 2 weeks maybe, and they work 40 plus hours. Sometimes
it doesn't mean anything because the productivity of Europeans is much higher. They're much more educated. They are producing much more. U.S. workers are good for nothing. If you will go, you take American workers send them to Europe, he will be unemployed for generations. He will never find work in Europe because he's not educated enough. He doesn't have experience. He doesn't have anything. He wants to have his beer and watch the Super Bowl. That's all what
European dreams are to go to work in the U.S. because they make a lot of money. Go look at the wealthiest and biggest companies in the world. They're all U.S.
It's coming to the end.
You're talking about the future.
It's no longer will be richest and strongest.
As we sit today,
you put charlatan on the top of the country, and it kills the country. That's what's happening to the United States.
All right, so let me give you
another 2.5 years.
The liberal dream is the U.S. gets destroyed.
It's nothing to do with liberals. Japan didn't listen to liberals. Japan are working with spreadsheets. The charlatan never seen spreadsheet in his life. He's complete
Well,
damn idiot. So
it
you
just
show
shows you how
the
strong the
spreadsheet
American
and the
economy is,
business.
Sasha.
Carney, why all world now listen to Carney?
It
Because
shows you how
he's
strong the
very
American economy is.
educated
One
and
idiot can't
very
destroy it.
knowledgeable guy. They are not gonna listen to charlatan. Think about it, Nick. You have charlatan.
It doesn't matter.
That's it.
See,
Oh,
that's
it
So
does.
here's
what
what
matters. The
here's
U.S.
what
economy
matters.
is so strong.
Here's what
that even
matters.
Trump can't
Nick,
destroy
you
it.
do business in Spain. When you buy a coffee, you pay for it in euros, right?
Yeah, right. I did.
Right. So when Trump took office a year ago, you could buy a euro with $1.03, right?
Because
Now
it was
it's,
about
it's
90
13 months
93.
later. To buy a euro, it costs you $1.18. The value of a dollar versus the euro has gone down 15%.
But it doesn't matter. It's still very inexpensive to live in Spain relative to the United States. And
Okay,
it really
but I'm
doesn't matter.
saying
You guys
that-
can
that-
jump up and down all you want. The American dollar is still extremely strong. You can jump all up and down you want. If you look at what Biden was doing, his economy was horrible compared to Donald. And Donald would have won the election again if it wasn't for COVID, because he was trumping along the economy. So if you're attacking on the economy, you're attacking on immigration, you're attacking the wrong thing. But if you're tracking some of his other policies, then the guy's a bit of a loony, you know. But it just shows you a loony tick in the head of office of the United States can't destroy the world's strongest and largest economy. We have way too much assets, way too much intellectual property, way too much money. And even Dr. Sharif knows that. I mean, we move assets like boulders. I mean, it's absolutely incredible how strong the American economy is.
It's not gonna
And
help
frankly, you know what? It
people of
actually
the
got
United States of
stronger over the
America.
last decade. That's the hard thing to manage. We were going down, and then we started turning up. But if you look at the social policies of the Democrats, they could stick the United States down the toilet, because
Forget about
policies are
Democrats.
good.
They are not in power for some time, and
I know. That's the reason the economy is going up. The stock market's going up.
Right now, you have Trump
Democrats
and you have
can't
the
do all
J.D.
their
Pence.
giveaway
You have a
programs.
bunch of
Let's
idiots.
give away all of our money.
They are not going to help U.S. workers.
Give everything
All
away.
the unemployed American workers who will be staying in line in soup kitchen, nothing will help them. All these billionaires are getting even richer than before.
We don't
Look at
have
that.
that
They
many
got
unemployed
10%
workers.
richer, 25% richer. It's not going to help average American. And the average American will vote in a few months, and you'll see what's going to happen.
So, yeah. So I mean, there are economic signs, and I trust you, Sasha, because you make it your business to know what's going on. Job creation way down, inflation down a little bit. It's at 2.4% for January.
Don't trust the numbers, please. Do not trust them. They are artificially produced lying numbers that will be revised a few months later. But right now, they're all trying to help Trump with his 24th February speech. That's all what these numbers mean. And all the professionals, all the people that I'm listening daily, they know just as well how these numbers are lying. There is not truth at all. And they're saying that on their podcasts openly without hiding their names or so on.
So where would you put your money right now?
Well, I would put gold, silver, gold number one, silver number two. And basically, I would stay. It's just you may see the earnings calendar, and let's see, Nvidia's earnings are coming next week. So Nvidia may go a little bit higher before the earnings, and that's what's happened actually today. But today, all market is doing quite well. I think Palantir is doing quite well, but you see, all the stocks were taken down so much that this a little bit come back almost expected. But that's not a big deal because after that comeback, there will be another downturn. The market is extremely vulnerable. There are no good news on the market to look forward to. There are no events that will be positive for the stock market. And the fact that for the first time ever, Australian government invited Carney to address, that's a very, very big deal because Australia is very important member of this 40 nation conglomerate headed by Canada. And this is by all the nice words that they want to trade without tariffs, without taxes and so on. This is a beautiful posturing. Exactly what it is a clearly anti-American organization.
So here's out of Ukraine. For the Ukraine has recaptured the most land in nearly 3 years. They retook 78 square miles of territory in 5 days, according to the headline, as Russian battlefield communications are in disarray. You want to talk about that?
Well, all I want to mention is that these so-called negotiations are done simply to please Donald J. Trump. There is nothing more there because let's see, there are 20 points in peace plan. 19 of the 20 resolved. So, wow, that's a great achievement. No, it's not, because the question number 1, territories, is more important than 19 points put together, and that's not resolved. Now, Trump is working very hard for Ukraine to surrender. Anything, whatever Russia wants, just surrender, just give it to them. Why? Because he is blindsided by $12 trillion deal that any idiot would understand that this is nothing but fantasy. With a country with GDP less than $2 trillion, how they can pledge $12 trillion? If they can do that, I would, if I were Trump, I would say, you know what, that's a good deal. Give me $500,000 deposit. And you would see what Russia would do in return.
So are these gains because Musk is no longer supporting Starlink?
Partially, yes, that, but also Ukraine is doing fantastic things on defense line, almost eliminating their losses. They are striking at Russians from longer distances, and they have much more sophisticated drones. That there is a zone that no vehicle, no Russian soldiers, they cannot penetrate. So they're staying there. Then they're doing their so-called meat attacks. When they're sending 100 people, 98 of them killed in a matter of 10 minutes. So the 2 alive coming back, getting another 98 live people, another meat attack, the live people are becoming dead people, and it goes several times a day. What they're attacking in the same place over and over and over, losing all their people. So
if you're a Russian sent to the front lines, what do you as soon as you get there, you probably want to drop your gun and run over and surrender?
Yep, that's our best. The problem is that the Russians have their interior ministry people who are killing anybody who wants to give up. They're killing them right there. So this is not very easy. It's not as easy as you say, but to stay alive, maybe that's your best choice, because in these meat attacks, you will be killed for sure, baby. And Russia can now produce 30,000 new recruits on the front lines, but Ukrainians are killing more than 30,000 a month. So that's not going to be even replacement. And that replacement, the average lifespan is 10 days.
Okay.
So why Zelensky would listen to Trump and give up its territory, which has not been ever occupied by Russians? This is the thing. They want a piece of Donbass that has been never, ever occupied by Russians. So they're saying, yeah, just give it to us, give it to us. We need to say to our people that all Donbass is ours. Really, try to take it.
Okay. Should we check in with, we kind of, I think Dr. Sharif got maybe annoyed that we hadn't checked in with him. If he wants to come back, we'll check in with, what about checking in with Jatovi here?
I mean, I was just listening because, yeah, there's a lot of issues with what's happening with not only the wars. I heard Zelensky was frustrated with something with the negotiations.
I don't think that he is really that pissed off because everything what's going on, it's expected. There is nothing to be surprised and say that, oh, I never thought about it. No, it's the usual stuff. Give me Donbass. No, I'm not going to give you Donbass. Okay, next round. And until this charlatan and criminal will be in power, he wants to show, at least until his speech next Tuesday, he wants to show that he is doing great job of bringing peace to Ukraine and Russia. So you're attacking Ukraine almost daily, that Ukraine has to be more flexible. Ukraine has to give Russian dollars. Ukraine has to do this. You don't do anything to Putin. Why? Because he promised you, idiot, $12 trillion? That's why? Ha 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 ha.
Okay.
I've also heard that, well, not only with Ukraine and Russia, since we're building up more military in the Middle East, we're about to go to war.
Maybe.
Because negotiations
Is Iran still killing thousands of its own people?
Not by now, I don't think so. I think they finish this execution of uprisers who Trump promised to support. But you can listen to promises of Trump. It's a great endeavor.
So as Trump said he would help out the protesters, but he didn't. I think maybe because logistically it would be very hard to do anything to the forces within Iran because they've got
It's possible. Maybe you're right, but then don't open your mouth, because essentially you misled people who were killed in thousands because of your promise. But people in Iran don't know what means Trump's promise. Now they know.
I mean, yeah, I mean, you give people false hope, and then more go out and do some things, and then end up getting killed or unalived. And yeah, that blood becomes is basically on your hands again.
All right, so there's some kind of AI feud going on between Anthropic, which owns Claude AI, and the Pentagon. Let's see what that's about.
It's because the Pentagon or Hegseth people want to have basically automated the AI be automated for the weapon systems. So the weapon systems would be unmanned. That's what happened with the balloon, the Mylar balloon that shut down, what was it, El Paso, Texas? Or El Paso?
Yeah.
Basically, there was a Mylar balloon, and they were trying to run these lasers and everything else. And that was
party balloon, like it says "Happy Birthday" or some crap like that.
Yep.
Okay.
So,
and they thought it was an attack drone, or what? They thought it was some kind of attack, right?
Well, they didn't know what it was because honestly, this administration is very inept at anything it does. But either way, they want autonomous weapon systems and everything else run by AI. So everything that we were talking about, basically the whole Terminator thing, that's what they wanted.
Skynet, that's where AI. I mean,
That's where the
it's such
Pentagon
a
was.
cliche. It's such a cliche because Terminator was 40 years ago, and it's crazy that we are in a danger that was predicted by a cheesy movie from the 80s.
Yeah, so that's what the Pentagon wanted. It is basically the AI to run the weapon systems and do all the other stuff. And the Claude didn't want to do. The people that own Claude didn't want to do that. So the Pentagon is suing them and kicking them and going to cancel the contract because they didn't do what they wanted them to do.
So wait, so Claude, the Claude people said we don't want to take over your weapon systems. They think that's a bad idea.
They didn't want to make it. They want people involved.
Yeah, well, that's crazy because we know that the tech bros who own the AI companies are in favor of AI doing whatever it wants so they can make more money. So that they would be the ones showing restraint means that really the Pentagon is going a little nuts here.
Speaking of things going nuts and everything like that, what's going on with ICE? Because I understand that they may have lost some of their power, and Trump is upset about that and everything like that. So it sounds like they will have to be a little bit more restricted because of some of the things that they have done, including the horrible killings of some individuals and all along those lines. So what does George say about the restrictions? Because I understand that Trump is upset that he's going to, his boys on ICE are going to have some restrictions.
Well, hold on one sec. I want to go back to the AI thing for a second. It's interesting that the director of Terminator, James Cameron, the director-writer, has now moved to New Zealand because he says it's beautiful there, because he's produced the Avatar movies there. But also, New Zealand is the farthest point on Earth if there's a nuclear war. It's the place that will survive the longest without fallout. So the guy who gave us Skynet is now hauling ass away from, as far as you can get from the northern hemisphere.
Because the doom clock.
Yeah, the doom clock is up further now. I think it gained a couple of seconds, so it's getting closer to the midnight hour.
So ISIS pulled 2,000 people out of Minneapolis, but we don't know how many people they're leaving behind.
Right. And then they pull out of some other cities as well, because it sounds like
they were in Portland. Let's see, where is ICE now? Let's see.
Where is ICE now?
If I remember, they just finished doing something, another crazy incident.
Gotcha. Toby, I missed it, but did you go see?
So here's what AI says: active surges, all of California. Specifically San Diego, where ICE arrests have surged by 1,500% compared to last year. Operations are being conducted in San Diego federal courthouses. So you show up for your immigration hearing before a judge, and something and then on your way out, ICE is there to grab you regardless of what happened in the hearing.
Yeah, I'm wondering about that even here in North Carolina.
There's also this $38 billion surge to buy warehouses. So ICE wants to spend $38 billion to buy warehouses and turn them into holding facilities. Hitler's entire Holocaust cost less than that. The Holocaust, Hitler put up 400 camps, and that cost. And he had 27 billion. Now those were 1940s dollars, so they were, inflation adjusted. We're maybe spending, less than
comparable, or spending less than Hitler, but it might be comparable. How worried would you be if you were a Spanish individual about some of these self-checkout kind of driverless places, because I know even here in North Carolina, I think we're just now about to get some of those and everything along those lines. But that seems to me a perfect place for ICE to pick up people if they're coming there for their license in those self-checkout lines, because of, during the COVID, there were long lines and there was long waits for getting your license and or your permits and a lot of other driver's things. So for you three gentlemen, how worried would you be about the danger of being picked up with some of these self-checkout lines?
Well, let's see. Well, I'm going to look up tips for avoiding ICE. According to AI, the number one thing is don't let them in your house. They're like vampires. If they don't have a warrant, and they mostly don't, you don't have to let them in.
Right.
Vampires can't come in your house unless you invite them in. Ditto for ICE. What else? So don't open the door. It's like if it's Halloween and you run out of candy, you turn off the lights. You pretend like you're not home. That's what you do with ICE too. Get it on get out your cell phone and have somebody who's maybe not directly involved, if possible, be in the background with recording things on their phone. So know your rights. Like my YMCA has these little laminated red cards that list your rights when dealing with ICE or other law enforcement officers. Get one of those cards and know exactly what you are entitled to do. Because ICE won't be honest about what their rights are in any given situation. And may not know because ICE putting people on the street with very little training.
Yep, that's true. They have very little training. Well, I know when Nick was on earlier, because I was listening in the background and everything like that, he was talking about the Democrats versus the Republicans. And recently, one of the Democrat kind of like, I don't want to say tastemakers and all along those lines, was in town campaigning for one of our candidates, not the existing candidate. But how much power and juice does Bernie have with AOC and other folks, or is he just a dinosaur in motion? Because I know he was here campaigning for Anita Adams, I believe is her last name, and everything like that. But he was campaigning for her and some other campaigns as he was going on this anti-oligarchy tour and everything like that. So apparently he's good traveling the country and everything like that. So how much juice does Bernie Sanders still have?
It depends on where he goes. Like, I don't think he really did anybody any favors when he came here.
Right.
Because of where he campaigned and who he campaigned for.
Right.
So I don't think that helped his cachet. And then right now, I think Bernie's, because we're on this ageism issue,
right.
I don't think Bernie's cachet is as big as it used to be. I think AOC is honestly landed more in the sweet spot now because people are looking for more youth and not somebody else who's 80 years old.
Yeah.
Trump is 80 almost.
Yeah, Trump will be 80 in 3.5 months.
Yep.
Yeah, he will be 80 shortly.
Here's another tip for avoiding ICE. If you can not look Latino, do it. Like maybe you stay out of the sun for a while and get pale. And maybe get American flag temporary tattoos and put them on your cheeks. If you get pulled by ICE, got American flags on your face, that would be the kid with the Spider-Man backpack, the 5-year-old, that little backpack served that kid well. It's like you're arresting a kid with a Spider-Man backpack. Well, if you can MAGA up your face with an American flag tattoo, that would probably be good for getting publicity to get you out of custody.
That could get you out of custody.
Spider-Man won't work because there's Miles Morales, who is he's black Latino.
Right.
Yeah, but that Spider-Man backpack helped that kid get released because people were like, really, you're arresting little kids with a Spider-Man backpack and a furry earmuff hat on.
Sasha mentioned it earlier. What are we expecting to hear other than the economy, because he is going to try to paint the economy as this wonderful victory for him. But what are we expecting a week from now? I'll actually glad to say I've got an event going on at the Cultural Arts Center I work at. So actually, I'll be hearing Branford Marcellus while he's speaking. So I think I'll be missing his wonderful speech. But what are you expecting to hear on the 24th?
Well,
What's that happen on the 24th?
This is the 24th. Yeah.
All right. So is the government still shut down? So
Right now, it's partially shut down.
FEMA and the TSA are still shut down as of this morning.
Yep.
Mm-hmm.
Which means that you go to the airport, they're still going to check you, but they're not getting paid. They're not getting paychecks, right? Is that how it works?
Yep.
Yep.
So
Definitely
if
not
I
getting
went
paid.
to the airport right now, I would, I don't know, I wouldn't want, don't carry like don't put valuable stuff through the x-ray machine in case they start, in the past, they've had trouble with the TSA people like swiping some stuff. If they start going weeks and weeks without getting paid, they might start shopping among the stuff that goes through the x-ray machine.
Yeah.
They may decide they want to get the latest camera or the latest phone. Hate to put it that way, but they may decide to do that.
Yeah.
I did see a sad story because we've had a couple of these shootings, and I think there've been a couple of more that have gone on. So gun control is becoming a big issue. I'm curious to see what he's going to say about that. I was just reading, Rick, a story about a woman that shot a police officer. So I'm sure people will be getting upset about that because apparently she got arrested and she didn't like the loud music that the officer was playing. So I don't know how she managed to keep the gun in her hand, or maybe she got his gun, but she did manage to shoot the officer because she didn't like the music that he was playing in his patrol car and everything like that.
Where did this happen?
It popped on my news feed, and now the news feed has disappeared, so I got to find it again to let you know where it happened. But once I find it, I'll let you know.
Okay. All right. What else have we got here? So you can give yourself a heart attack by sleeping too hot.
What is sleeping too hot?
If you have too many blankets, if your bedroom is too hot, you're
Okay,
it's
the
supposed
bedroom.
to be like over in England. It made us crazy when we visited our kid, where the thermostat in the place we were staying would drop the temperature into the low 60s at night, Fahrenheit, like 15 degrees Celsius. And we kept fighting with the thermostat to try to keep it warmer, but it turns out it's healthier to sleep cold. Your body slows down, and this study says if you're all heated up when you're asleep, where your heart has to work harder to cool you down all night, and it creates stress, and it can give you a heart attack. So maybe one
apparently this incident happened in Lawrence. Where is Lawrence? Is that Illinois?
Kansas. Lawrence is in Kansas.
Well, there's a Lawrence in Kansas, but I think this came out of the Indianapolis newspaper. So I think but they say it was a argument over loud music, and the woman, and apparently they were both officers.
So here are the numbers from the study. As long as your sleep temperature is the room temperature plus blankets is under 75 Fahrenheit, you're okay. Over 75, it reduces your heart's recovery by 40%. And if it goes over 79 degrees, your heart risk is triple what it would be sleeping in a cooler room. So especially if you're an older person, you want to sleep cold.
You want to sleep cold?
Yep.
This is the new news. Trump's election bill tops 50 Senate votes, but Democrats can still block it. So it does look like there's a bill that's about to come down that is facing some Democratic option. opposition. So that's the Save America Act to require proof of citizenship nationwide to register to vote, and overhaul voting laws
Okay,
has now tapped.
You don't need to read the description. It's voter suppression. That's what that bill.
That's totally what it is.
So the what it hits hardest. Now it hits a lot of people, but it maybe hits married women harder than any other group. And women tend to vote Democratic compared to women are more anti-Trump than men by anywhere from 5 to 10%. So if they can disenfranchise women, they want to. So if you're a married woman and you've taken your husband's name, you have to build the entire paper trail with official documents. You need a birth certificate, then you need an official marriage certificate, then you need an official ID, and then you have to show all those things to show at that where you register to vote that I was born with this name. Then I took on this name, and I am who I say I am. Or you can get a passport, which costs $155 and takes about 3 months. So the whole deal is just to put up hurdles for women and for poor people.
I mean,
definitely.
With birth certificate takes a long time to get, and you have to pay money for. I mean, all these things, it's a poll tax. Poll tax with hurdles.
For a non-existent problem. So the MAGAs say that hundreds of thousands, maybe millions of illegal immigrants are voting, which is not true. The Heritage Foundation maintains a voter fraud database, and they have an investment that they're super conservative. They're super in favor of of draconian voter ID laws. But even according to their own database, they've only found in 40 years 77 cases of immigrants voting illegally out of 2 billion votes cast. That's a rate of, well under 1 in a million votes. Overall, like including immigrants, MAGA idiots, felons who thought they could vote, but it turns out they couldn't, that they've only found total 2,000 fraudulently cast votes out of 2 billion over the past 40 years. It's a microscopic. It's a problem that's smaller than Trump's penis.
So it's much smaller than everything like that. Hey, Sasha, is the big match, because I think we're playing Canada, the U.S. is twice in hockey. Is that today or is that tomorrow, those matches? I forget when those matches are.
That one's Thursday. The men or the women play? I think the men play Thursday for the gold medal, maybe.
Mm-hmm. They both play for the gold medal.
Right now, Canada plays Czech Republic match. They just started about 15 minutes ago. It's men. Now, women, I think both America and Canada made it to semifinals. And based that both probably will win, they will play final game.
Well, the women made it to the gold in Canada. I didn't know about the men yet, but I know the women already did. They had already announced that it's U.S. versus Canada in that one.
Mm-hmm.
U.S. versus Canada for the final and everything like that. That's what I thought it was.
The women the U.S. women are riding a hot streak of breaking records right now in terms of the amount of goals that they've given up, the amount of goals.
They're very strong, yes.
Yeah. And I won't sleep. Honestly, I wouldn't be shocked based on the emotion around it, and honestly, the Canadian women play well, actually. I wouldn't be shocked if it's a closer game than what people are expecting.
So the game is tomorrow at 1:10 p.m. Eastern Time, 10 a.m. Pacific. Michaela Shrift, how do I say her name? Schifflin. Anyway, the U.S. skier who's the winningest great big slalom skier in history. She's won 108 times, but she's screwed up at the Olympics. She came through finally and took gold commandingly, I guess, yesterday. She'd screwed up. I mean,
Cool.
it's not really screwing up because that's the winter sports are maybe crazier than the summer sports, because
And I think a reporter asked her the one I'm thinking. Well, I know the Chinese one. The reporter asked her an idiotic question, which is whether she thought that the silvers tarnished her gold medal and everything along those lines. And she basically called that reporter to task for asking such a silly question and everything like that. So she called him to task and everything like that. Just really quickly, because we're at the top of the hour, and I know we got investment at 1 and all along those lines. What's up? And we can just get a quick answer with this Minions movie, because I just saw that was popping up on my screen as well, and I don't know what this Minions movie is. So y'all folks that follow movies, what is this movie that's got Minions in the title? I think it's Minions and Monsters or something like that.
I don't know. I mean, it's one of the most successful franchises of the past 15 years.
Just a Minions movie.
Just another Minions movie.
It is. Looks like it is. No, wait. This Minions and Monsters. Let's see how it's. I guess they're just starting to run trailers for it because it doesn't come out for another 5 months.
Yeah, so they're probably just running trailers now and everything like that. So it's the top of the hour, so we'll get ready to get on out of here. We'll have more news later on tomorrow, but we'll have investment news at exactly 1 o'clock. I think that Jim Eade will be joining Natasha, and we'll see if he's got anybody else, but definitely they'll be having a conversation about what's going on, including with NVIDIA stocks in tech and other things as well. So look forward to
you
that
saw
conversation.
that we're canceling for tomorrow for Naked at Night, right? Because we lost our director for a while.
I did get that email that he was in Texas, I believe it was.
Yep.
Yeah.
All right.
So hopefully we'll get that recorded next week. Yeah.
All right. Thanks.
Okay, thank you.